What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we just generally give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how is it going?
Going excellently, Connor. Here we're talking about Marvel comics today, is that correct?
No, I have taste.
He turned it back. He turned it back on me.
Now, if anyone doesn't know, I normally talk about DC comics, and Shaun normally talks about Marvel. Not because one of us likes the other more, we just like comic books. We have to pick.
We like things.
We both like both of them, but then we had to say, right, well, you might as well do one, and I'll do the other. And that's how we got here.
We've fallen into that for 3 years.
I hate Marvel, especially the movies. They suck.
Yeah, DC really has us pegged on that one.
Yeah, us, he says. What are you, Kevin Feige's son? Okay. So, Shaun, this week I'm going to be talking a character that, I've done the Riddler here. And we've had characters that might be maybe superheroes whose parents have been villains in the past. And so what I decided to do this week was do a minor Batman villain that has kind of come back up in the New 52. So he was around in 1966 in Detective Comics 351, and that was his first appearance. And he was kind of just a bit shit. I'll be honest with you, not great.
Okay, but he's since become a more better, important villain to Batman?
He's around. He's still there. So, but in the New 52, he got a rewrite. His origin got changed up. It became a little cooler. And so we're going to be doing a character called Arthur Brown, who is otherwise known as the Cluemaster, Shaun.
How much of a Riddler clone is this dude?
Well, look, here's what I'm going to say. Think about it, right? What does the Riddler do before he does crimes?
Leaves a riddle.
He leaves a riddle to the crime. So what about, instead of leaving a riddle that Batman has to solve, we leave clues that lead him to the riddle, to the crime, I should say.
Oh, so that's in many ways more bold. Because he's like, no, I'm going to tell you exactly where to find me. You just have to be smart enough to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like nobody's smart enough to figure this out. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to leave a load of little breadcrumbs. Batman, you dumbass. You'll never find me.
Interesting. Okay. I'm excited to see what would drive a man to clue-based villainy.
Also, Arthur Brown. Brown is the second name, Shaun. Do we know any members of Gotham?
James Brown.
Not James Brown.
Stephanie Brown.
Stephanie Brown, who is Spoiler, who I have not done actually yet. Also Batgirl. I think she was the third Batgirl. Or maybe fourth. I have a Cassandra Cain and her I always mix up. Anyway, so the creator of Cluemaster is Gardner Fox and Carmine Infantino. They created him obviously in 1966, but he has been since rewritten in Batman Eternal, I think in the New 52. So, Arthur Brown lived and worked in Gotham City. And for a long time, he was pretty famous as a game show host. Now, during this time, his life was normal. He fell in love with a nurse called Crystal and had a lovely daughter with her called Stephanie. Now, however, everything started to crumble once he lost his job, Shaun, because Arthur Brown, as I said, was the host of a celebrity edition of a TV show. And one night, he was hosting the show the program was benefiting the 0 Hour Reclamation Fund, which is fund basically to raise money for people in Gotham, and included Bruce Wayne as a contestant.
Right.
So all the rich people were there. It's a celebrity episode of the show. They've brought these people in to raise money for charity.
That's okay. And he's the host of the show.
He's the host. Now, in that episode, Arthur Brown grew increasingly frustrated with a particular contestant's stupidity. So much so that he blew up on camera. Basically calling this guy absolutely ridiculous, like, you are fucking thick, you're so dumb, live on air, in front of everyone.
Pretty mean thing to do to Bruce Wayne, I would say.
Actually, that would be very Bruce Wayne, to pretend to be dumb when you're Bruce Wayne. Yeah. So he's on the show and he basically blows up and starts calling this contestant all these names and causes a scandal for himself. And he had been unemployed and broke, but he was angry that the intellectually inferior got rich while he basically had to scrape by. And so when they all came on his show, they were like, "You're an idiot, how are you rich? This is fucking dumb."
I'm living paycheck to paycheck and you get to be a millionaire and thick as pig shit.
Yeah, and he was unable to find himself another job, as all other TV channels considered him a failure as a host, which made sense.
Yeah, if you blow up live on air, that'll tend to sour your reputation.
So, hit by a crippling inferiority complex, Arthur was desperate to prove his ingenuity to the world. So he decided to measure himself with the greatest mystery in Gotham, the secret identity of the Batman.
So it's a okay, so he's trying to prove himself now.
He's got inferiority complex that, like, he's the smartest. He has to prove he's the smartest.
Him and Riddler in a room together must be fantastic.
You're starting to pick up, the clues. They're very glaring. So, to match the Caped Crusader, Arthur tailored himself a costume and named himself the Cluemaster, challenging Batman in a battle of wits, always leaving intricate clues behind to prove his intellectual and superiority. Obviously, this compulsion to leave clues was always the cause of his failure.
Yeah, you're leaving evidence.
To Batman.
The world's greatest detector.
Yeah, so what he's done there is he didn't leave clues for, like, Superman, who probably wouldn't give a shit and be like, okay. Like, he's leaving it for the one guy that doesn't have superpowers, so he's going to check every crime scene 100 times to find some clues.
The guy who famously solves things based on clues and evidence.
That's kind of his thing. That is kind of his thing. So if he can outsmart the Batman, though, he's the smartest.
Yeah, I guess. But would you not just... Can you not outsmart him silently and just not give him clues?
Like riddles.
Riddles would be ideal, actually, if we could arrange that.
Yeah, no, that's another guy's shtick. We don't want to get copyright infringed. So eventually...
Some kind of jokes, perhaps? Can we base it around jokes?
Some sort of jokes? Some sort of calendar, man? Have you heard of calendar?
A joke calendar, great.
Joke calendar. Eventually, Arthur Brown ended up spending more time in Blackgate Penitentiary than with his family. Something that obviously ended his marriage. Now, his obsession was relentless with Batman. And so he basically just kept trying and trying and trying. And he wanted to prove that he was so sure that he was smarter than everyone that he wanted to leave clues. So when the Batman showed up, he was like, even more so, oh, you think you're the best of them? Well, watch this. Oh, wait, no, fuck, I'm arrested. Oh, no.
Right. How old is Stephanie at that point? Or is she just, like, a child?
I think Stephanie at this point might be like 7 or 8.
Right, okay, so old enough to kind of know her dad's a criminal.
Yeah, when he first gets involved, she's probably 7 or 8. Most comic books, she's like 16 when he first gets out.
Right, okay. Bless you. See how I knew that was coming, folks? God, I'm great. He gave me a little clue, you see. He held up one finger to the camera as if to say, wait just a second.
That's my sneeze finger.
That's it. It was the middle one and it was pointed towards me.
People always get confused. God, he's very mean.
God, church, no less.
Now, here's the thing. Batman was used to solving crimes from smarter criminals like the Riddler, who is a villain who doesn't leave clues to the crimes he's doing. So Batman's able to solve his things. So Cluemaster was a bit of a joke, to be honest.
Yeah, a non-threat.
Now, during the second year of Batman's career, Cluemaster participated in the war of jokes and riddles between the Joker and the Riddler for the right to kill Batman. This was a war that the two of them pledged, basically, and got him. Cluemaster joined the Joker's side, he's not going to join the Riddler's side, and worked with him for weeks in a citywide fight against the Riddler's army, being afraid he might be killed if he was refused. So Arthur proposed to Kite Man at one stage that they could get out of their predicament, as long as they made it look that Batman had clearly beaten them. The two were, however, attacked and knocked out by the Scarecrow, who was working with the Riddler. And Arthur was eventually caught by Batman, who was forced to side with the Riddler in order to get the fighting to stop. Because, one side was the Joker.
Fair. Yes, it's an uneasy alliance. I like that Kite Man and him and the Cluemaster are just like, we can get out of this right now.
So Arthur ran into cross paths with Batman a lot of the time in his early days, but he always managed to escape with his secret identity intact. So he's a good criminal, you know what I mean? He's keeping it under wraps. Until the day he returned home and was caught by Batman Dare, who only let him go without harm due to seeing his young daughter Stephanie and realising that he had a family to provide for.
Okay, yeah, because Batman would never arrest Deadshot in front of his daughter, right?
I think that's the plot of 2016 Suicide Squad.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I picked up on the wrong clues.
No. Oh, no. Fuck Batman. Fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman.
Oh, no. Fuck Batman. So he also had a brief stint in the Suicide Squad at this time. Amanda Waller brought him in and he was recruited.
What use is he in the Suicide Squad?
That's a very interesting point you've well made. He didn't last too long. I think he lasted maybe 1 or 2 missions. And then he got involved in an inner fight between Checkmate, who was also on the team, Cluemaster and Checkmate. They didn't get on. And eventually he left the team saying he didn't really like it. So he tried to reform
the Suicide Squad, though.
I don't know if Amanda Waller lets you leave or maybe she kicks you out. Maybe he was so shit that she kicked him out.
Yeah, maybe. And he tried to reform after that.
He tries to reform. And now we've seen the Riddler try to reform, and he actually was on the side of good for a long time, but he just has a compulsion to do certain things. And so Cluemaster tried to reform for some time, but it didn't work out, Shaun. And after miraculously surviving that outing with the Suicide Squad, he eventually came back to his old ways. He did, however, find something useful in prison: psychiatric therapy. Finally, Brown understood his need for proving his intellectual superiority and managed to let it go. When he came out, he was a different man, meaning that he didn't need to leave clues behind anymore and could be a much more effective criminal.
Oh, he was so close there. He just learned the wrong lesson.
Who only aimed at being a rich man rather than challenging Batman's intellect. So he was only after the money now. He doesn't want to prove his smartness to Batman.
He's perfectly content in himself. He just wants more money.
Nobody knew of this change of style in the Cluemaster, apart from his estranged family. And Stephanie couldn't let him be successful. Certainly not as a criminal. Naming herself Spoiler, Stephanie started following her dad while he went out by night for his robberies. And she left clues behind him in his place.
What?
So that the police and Batman would be able to find him and arrest him nonetheless.
So that's how she got her start as a superhero.
So I think we definitely should do a Hero Zero on Stephanie Brown. She's one of my favourite characters. And so I've been meaning to get around to her, but I always feel like it's cheating for me to do a Batman character. So I always try to go around to all the rest of the villains and heroes, and then I might come back every so often. Give everyone a turn. Yeah, because if I did, I could just go through the whole of Gotham, but I don't really. That would get quite boring quite quickly. But yeah, I definitely think we should do Spoiler. She first popped up for me when I was reading the Tim Drake comic book run as Robin. She was massive into that because the two of them were together, romantic styles, and so nice. She's like 16 or 17 in the comic books. And as I said, her outfit at this time is it's like a purple I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's like a big mask, hood, big purple thing that's very loose. It doesn't look very stylish, but
Right.
it gets more stylish as it goes along. This was like in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
That's fair. Oh yeah, it looks pretty cool. I pulled it up here. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So Cluemaster found out about Spoiler's true identity the worst way possible, as when he was about to disfigure her with a vial of acid in a hostage situation. He was
dear.
basically, he captured Spoiler, and he's like, now, I'm gonna you've been getting me arrested repeatedly. Who are you, you little shit? I'm gonna throw a load of acid on you.
Face off.
I'm gonna burn your face. I'm real mad. Batman dropped the news on him. Batman showed up. It's like, that's Stephanie, you dickhead. Startling him long enough to allow Stephanie to try to basically wrap him up and nearly strangle him to death in the fight.
Awkward family reunions, you know.
So while he was brought back to Blackgate, his daughter, who initially wore the costume only to stop him, grew into a full-fledged crime fighter, something that made him oddly proud of her, which I quite like as a character thing.
Oh, he's like, yeah, it's not the life for me, but fair play to her.
And now her doing that actually prompted him to give another shot at redemption, but that didn't last long.
Of course it didn't. When does it ever?
So he keeps an eye on Stephanie and her career, but Cluemaster just can't help the fact that he wants to do crimes and just leave Clue. So he has to go off and go, but like, I'm proud of you, but also I'm going to leave a clue here, and I might be somewhere later on.
He's just there, like, writing it slowly, putting it on the ground. Leave that there.
Now, this might or might not let you know my plans after 9 this evening. I might be somewhere, I might not be. We don't know. Read it, figure it out. Just says, I'm at the bank. Ring if need.
He's real bad at clues lately.
Yeah. So, also one of my favourite things is Cluemaster was very worried for another unexpected threat at this time, and that was the Riddler was after the monopoly on crime puzzles.
For fuck's sake.
Which is such a dumb monopoly. I'm the king of crime puzzles.
Yeah, it's like being like, what's the joke in Fatherhead? Like the third darkest cave in Ireland or something like that.
Yeah, like it's not a good boast, I would say.
No, it's not something you should put on your CV.
So his big story comes in Batman Eternal, Shaun.
Yes.
And this is when Cluemaster, he uses his noggin. And he comes up with a plan to destroy Gotham City once and for all. Right?
Right.
Sending messages to the entirety of the upper echelons of Batman's rogues gallery that they were invited to the destruction of Gotham City. He did this knowing that Batman would concentrate his efforts on all the A-listers and completely ignore the C-listers.
That's really clever, actually. Because Batman would be like, okay, who's capable of doing that?
Yeah, well, okay, right, I need to go stop Joker and Bane, step 1 and 2, and then I'll move on to Two-Face and Riddler, and I'll work my way down.
Yeah, so, okay, that's really cool.
As well as causing the manipulation of Commissioner Jim Gordon with some basic Mad Hatter technology to get Batman off balance from the onset, working more in depth with the lower criminals, including the likes of Lockup, Ratcatcher, Prankster, Firefly, and Signal Man.
Signal Man.
Oh, there's some good ones. There's some good ones there.
Ever since 5G, he's been fucking on top of his game.
He's fucking... He got the vaccine and he was fucking laughing.
5 bars, so he had.
Constantly by. In one such meeting, he was found out by his daughter. However, in the attempt to fight her for what she knew, Cluemaster let her go free. Likely not in accordance with his plans, but he was just like, it's my daughter, I'm going to let her go anyway, because I don't want to kill her.
Yeah, he's not into killing family members quite yet.
Well, he would kill everyone else's family members. But it's his own daughter, so he's like, okay, cool. That is fair.
It's good to know this man has a line.
Yeah. He later tried to have her assassinated.
Oh dear. Oh dear, we were so close, Cluemaster.
But he was not... Like, he didn't want to do it, though. He got someone else to look into it.
Oh yeah, he won't dirty his own hands.
Yeah. The assassination was actually demanded by Hush on the consequences of failure of being... so Hush basically wanted her to be shot because she knew the plan and she knew Batman.
Right.
So, seems like a bad idea.
It seems like a bad idea, but I get Hush's logic in that.
So also, Hush said that it's either basically you or her. And
he chose his own life over his daughter's.
Yeah, basically. And but Hush found out that she was still alive. She was not listed among the dead or injured. And that fact, and also the fact that she had been blogging about him to anyone who would listen, that he was
blogging. She had been blogging about this.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's like 2014. She's blogging non-stop, Shaun.
Oh, weren't we all? Tumblr and the like.
Yeah. In light of this, and with his daughter's blogging still not making a serious impact on the community due to his low threat level as a villain. So she's like, this is the plan. He's distracting us all with Joker and Bane, and he's going to destroy everyone. And everyone, even on the internet, is like, yeah, but he's a bit shit. Like,
he's kind of this one thing he's doing is kind of impressive, but the rest of him useless.
So to basically counteract this, because he was embarrassed, and I think Hush probably negged him into doing it. Like, he sent a bomb to a house that Stephanie was meant to be in, and it blew up, but it killed the wrong person. It was not Stephanie who was in the house at the time.
Classic switcheroo.
The classic switcheroo. So Arthur reports back and he's like, Hush, I did it. I'm after killing her.
I'm after killing my daughter.
Fucking solved.
Aren't I class, Hush?
And so at this point, all the lower tier villains were in full swing, the plan. And Signal Man was embedded within Gotham's infrastructure, using the traffic system to cause a gradually worsening gridlock.
It's annoying. It's certainly annoying.
My favourite use of the word gradually worsening.
Just to the point that they won't take it anymore.
Yeah, like, they're annoyed. There's a lot of traffic. But, like, you can still get through it, but it's probably going to just add, like, half an hour to your journey.
It's just like, surely it'll clear at some point.
Yeah. Ratcatcher was weakening the water system, preparing to introduce pathogens to the pipes at a moment's notice. The prankster was causing rolling blackouts in the city, cycling them through the worst neighbourhoods in town, and timed to interrupt community events. These plans together were intended to create mass anxiety in Gotham that would likely lead to street riots. So my favourite is Signal Man. Let's cause a gradually worsening gridlock, eventually riots.
I get it though. Like, it's not a big, there's a bomb that'll destroy the city. It's, no, we're just going to cause chaos and just let everyone kill each other.
So upon Hush leaving, Cluemaster revealed that he was aware that his daughter, now a masked vigilante aiming to take him down, was present, causing him to ambush her with a gas grenade. He explained that he had hoped that they could have been partners, but that hope was crushed by her meddling, Shaun.
But you have to acknowledge that he's the one mostly at fault here.
I would say him trying to cause mass anxiety and unrest in the city would lead him to probably be evil.
And the gradually worsening gridlock, of course.
Oh, don't even get me started. Signal Man is maybe worse than Joker. He's killed nobody, but he's annoyed a whole bunch of people.
But he's ruined lives.
He's ruined lives in his own way. Find your niche, Shaun. Signal Man realises just a few red lights every now and then. I like how he didn't aim high. Lads, I'm not robbing banks, okay? I can stop a red light, I can turn it green, I can turn it orange if we need it, but that's about it.
That's it. That's me. That's my trick. That's what I'm good at.
So he is trying to explain. He's monologuing basically to Stephanie at this point, and he's like, "Come join me," and she cuts him short by lobbing a wrench at his head and escaping on his motorcycle. And he gives chase on another motorcycle. But by the end of the chase, Arthur's motorcycle had crashed 6 miles outside of Gotham City, with Stephanie able to watch as the state police, whose jurisdiction the father and daughter had entered, and whom she had called during the chase itself, arrested him. So what happened is, she went to his base outside of Gotham,
Right.
got onto a bike, allowed him to chase her far enough into Gotham that they were now in the jurisdiction of the Gotham PD and he could be arrested.
So she tricked him.
Yes, so once again his daughter outsmarted him because she's a superhero and he's an idiot.
Excellent. Excellent. What a way to go down. And so he went back to Blackgate then?
So he goes back to Blackgate constantly, yes.
The most secure prison in the world.
I mean, yeah. And so the main story of Cluemaster is every time he leaves, Stephanie is her personal duty to bring him back. Because it's like, oh, Batman, hold off. It's my dad, so I'm going to beat him up.
I don't want him in hospital. I just want him arrested.
But also, Signal Man's causing a fucking gridlock somewhere in this city, Batman. You need to get on that. We get the Justice League.
I want you to take up torturing.
Where's Superman? I think we need Superman for Signal Man.
The whole league.
The whole league against him. I'd fight him, but I can't get to the battle. It's gridlock.
Even the Batmobile is affected by gridlock.
Superman's like, why did I drive? I should have just flown here.
Oh god, that's a good one.
So what happens then is later when Stephanie was about to leak information on Cluemaster's next plans, Cluemaster jumps in through, he gets released from prison once again, and he comes in and they have another fight. So constantly is the massive thing of he gets released, Stephanie realises what he's up to, releases information through her blog, or maybe just to Batman, who has his own blog. Whichever blog really gets the most hits on a daily basis. They don't do anything about it. They just blog about it, maybe a few tweets, maybe a few
See
Facebook
if anyone
posts.
picks it up.
Yeah. And then Jim Gordon's on his phone scrolling. He's like, oh, fuck. Lads, he's at it again. Quick. And so then he just immediately gets back arrested again. What happens then is Cluemaster invites Batman to Beacon Tower to witness the destruction of everything he holds dear. And
Right.
Cluemaster waited there with the bat signal. And upon the arrival of Batman, he mockingly explained that the bat signal had once been an exciting sight. But the truth of it was that it represented Batman's mark, a symbol that he owned Gotham. Amused that Batman still could not recognise who he was, Cluemaster laughed, jolting his memory with thousands of volts of electricity, Shaun.
What?
So what happens is, in the previous one, Batman learned his identity was Stephanie Brown's father.
Yeah.
And this is the new 52, so they've gone back. The Batman now doesn't know who he is.
I get
And
you.
so Cluemaster's whole thing is that, like, you don't know. The greatest clue is me hiding it from you. It's right in front of you.
Okay. And what's the electricity about?
No, Batman just shows up and he just electrocutes him.
Oh, right.
But I think he had the pun ready. He wants to jolt his memory.
I see. Wow, that was really convenient on Batman's part.
Batman has to be dumb sometimes. And so, as Batman collapsed, Cluemaster crouched over him, warning that all he needed to do was understand the plot from the beginning was follow the clues. Shaun, follow the clues.
Of course Cluemaster's going to say that, though.
So, with Batman strapped to the bat signal, Cluemaster taunted him, explaining that for all of Batman's posturing, the symbol on his chest was only another mask to hide the fact that beneath it, he was just a man, not an idea. See, Cluemaster, he's good. You know what I mean? He's a tough cookie. And in that respect, he was no different from the second stringers that he had ignored for years. Right?
Right, okay, so it's still the inferiority thing a bit here.
Yeah. Cluemaster wondered if Batman even remembered who he was, and Batman responded, oh no, that he knew well that the Cluemaster was Arthur Brown, a second-rate Riddler knockoff, who could never have pulled off a scheme like this. Angrily, Cluemaster reminded him that the Riddler never got the better of Batman like this, even during any of their battles, ripping away his cowl to reveal the face of Bruce Wayne, which only served to bolster his case that Batman thought he owns the city because he hates rich people, because it all started on the game show.
That's quite nice that, like, Even once he learns it's Bruce Wayne, he's like, that just proves my point even more. You're a dickhead.
Yeah, and so at this point, the city's on fire. All of his C-string villains have now succeeded. That they've kind of set the whole thing on fire. So this is still part of the same storyline. And so Arthur throws the cowl into the fires down below in the streets. And after Arthur exposited over what his plan had been from the start and proclaimed that he would finally kill Batman, Bruce broke free one of his chains holding him, and he punched Arthur in the face until Arthur fell to the ground and
functionally dead.
And so at this point, Batman had 8 entire days, without sleep, through the exhaustion of having to put away all of the criminals one by one.
Yeah. But he still beat this man to within an inch of his life, I assume.
So he was still weak. Though Bruce fought with the last of his strength, Cluemaster revealed that he did not intend to win by fighting. And he pulls out a revolver, admitting that it was not elegant, but there was a kind of poetic justice to it, given how Bruce lost his parents to a gun just 2 miles away. Similarly,
your parents are dead, you dickhead.
I like how he also says similarly to a nobody. So he basically's like, I'm a nobody, I'm going to kill you, just like a nobody killed your parents.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice, and only 2 miles away.
So as he prepared to pull the trigger, a character called Lincoln March appeared behind him and cut his throat. Grasping to staunch the blood flow, he sputtered that this wasn't according to the plan. His would-be killer responded that it was not according to Cluemaster's plan, but it was according to his own.
Oh no. Oh no. And so he just dies.
So he was about to kill Batman, and then he got his throat sliced.
Batman's a very lucky man.
And so to be honest, Batman did nothing. All he did was stay awake for 8 days straight. He had nothing. He'd lost that battle.
He'd lost that battle, absolutely. So that's the end of Cluemaster forever.
That's the end of Cluemaster so far. I'm pretty sure he might have come back in Young Justice. I think, at some stage it was revealed that he had survived and pretended to be dead, but we're not going to get into that. I like the end that, he ended on his peak. He had set Gotham on fire, him and all the C-list.
Yeah, he had villains. Won, basically. He was about to just finally win. And then he got his
throat slashed. Yeah. So what can you do? So, his powers and abilities, Shaun. Arthur Brown is a highly intelligent man with an IQ bordering on genius and a crippling inferiority complex that for years led him to underestimate himself in everything he did. As the Cluemaster, he's a master tactician who grew from goon to team leader during his career and who's now one of the most brilliant criminal masterminds in Gotham. The pellets attached to his costume contain a number of gadgets and weapons, the usual, you got smoke bombs, gas bombs, all that kind of stuff.
Whatever you need.
Whatever the story needs. Now, being one of the few completely sane villains in a city of loony psychopaths, the Cluemaster has turned on a whole new leaf. Now, not abandoning his life of crime, of course, but improving it. Becoming a much more effective and overall richer thief.
I do like that, how it's not to do with his brain chemistry. He just wants money and he wants to be bad.
Yeah, he's not crazy. In any way, he's actually completely sane, but he's just I'd like to be rich. But and at first he was I'm going to leave clues. But then he was I'm not going to leave, what's the point of the clues? That seems dumb.
Why am I doing that? It's a waste of everyone's time.
I could just make loads more money by not leaving the clues and just committing the crimes.
God, you've really given me a lot to think about, Doc.
So that's the Cluemaster, Shaun. A character that is a B-list or C-list, I would say, villain, but he had that one great storyline where his plan was all of the C-listers would get all of the A-listers to distract Batman while they caused mayhem.
That's actually, it's really cool, and it's better than I expected, because I thought this was just going to be a Riddler knockoff. And he kind of was at the start, it seemed, but then he became, I really like the fact that he's fully sane. That's really interesting.
There's a great stat about, say, Jason Todd, so the Red Hood, or the second Robin, that they did it, that he uses guns and he goes around and he kills all the criminals or whatever, And in the comic books, they sent him to Arkham after one of his Red Hood missions, and they did a test on him, and they said that he was completely sane. So, and Batman was like, how is he sane? Like, he goes around killing people. Like, yeah, but he thinks he's right. Like, in his head, he's sane.
There's nothing making him do that. He's choosing it.
Yeah, so that's worse. Like, the Joker's insane. But Jason Todd is completely sane, but he's like, no, I want to kill people. Like, killing the villains is a better idea. Whereas he's like, I'm completely sane, but obviously I'm just going to commit the crimes and blow people up and not leave clues. Seems like a smarter idea.
And it did. He got to actually develop his criminal career by doing that, which is really nice.
Yeah, exactly. So this story is kind of like a nice lead-in, by the way, to Spoiler and Stephanie Brown, which I might do maybe next month or in a few weeks after that, because I like to spread out the Batman.
Yeah,
all the Batman characters need to be spread out a little bit.
That's true. Years apart, if you ask me. Just till you never touch.
Just let everyone go back and listen to Nightwing. That episode is still my fave.
It's a great Nightwing episode. And listen to all the episodes on all podcast platforms. Leave a like on all podcast platforms as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah. What else do you want to take us out, Shaun? Or?
Oh, yeah, I will, I think. Well done on the report, Connor. Thank you very much for that. Thanks also to all of our patrons who support us over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. You get access to movie reviews, and we review some of the Marvel TV shows and stuff like that. Everyone who supports us over there is amazing, so do check on out. And also link below all of our social medias. Facebook, Heroes for Hire podcast. Instagram, Heroes for Hire podcast. Twitter is @HeroesForHirePod. The 4 is the number 4. Or you can email us, heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But the best way you can ever help out the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Sean Meehan.
And we shall see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.